In this video, we will install and test the MCNP code, version 6.3, developed at Los Alamos National Laboratory on a computer running Microsoft Windows. This software is generally obtained from the Radiation Safety Information Computational Center, also known as RSIC, at Oak Ridge National Laboratory. More refined MCNP 6.3 tutorial videos are expected to follow this one, but our immediate goal is to provide a demonstration of the installation process to help those who obtain the code shortly after its release. I am using Microsoft Windows 10, but the steps should be the same for other recent versions of 64-bit Windows operating systems. We start by inserting the disk into our disk drive and copying the files from the disk to our hard drive. We can select all the files and copy them, go to our hard drive, create a new directory that we call MCNP6.3_install, and copy those files into this new directory. With these files copied in, we can continue. First, we can open the readme.html file. That will give us general information about the installation process for the MCNP code. In addition, in the binaries directory, there's a README file specific to Microsoft Windows that will give us other information. We can see from these files that there's two pieces of software that are prerequisites, Python 3.6 or newer, and Xming. Next, we're going to install those. To do this, we go to our web browser and open a new tab and search Google for Xming. That will take us to SourceForge, where we can download Xming to then install it. To do that, we click the big green download button. We wait, the software will download, and then we're going to close the tab. To install Xming, we go to our Downloads directory, double-click the installer, it will launch, and then we click Next. If we change the installation location to something like C:\Xming, we can install it without administrative privileges. In addition, we uncheck the first three checkboxes, and we choose not to install an SSH client. Click Next. We keep the setting to create a Start menu folder and click Next. We also create a desktop icon and click Next. Finally, we click Install. Finally, we click Finish. We'll see the black X icon in the system tray near the clock, and if we mouse over it, it will show us the Xming server information. This software must be running to use the MCNP 6.3 X11 plotter. To install Python, we go to python.org and install the latest stable version for Windows. To do that, we go to Downloads, Windows, and choose this latest installer. That will then download, and we can close this tab. Double-click on the Python installer, and we'll continue. We continue by choosing Customize Installation, unchecking for all users, and click Next. We choose to add Python to the environment variables and click Install. With Python installed, we click Close. We are now ready to install the MCNP code. Using the Microsoft Windows README, we can use the MS-DOS terminal to install the software. To do that, we may also need to set our proxy. To launch the command prompt, we can search for CMD and press Enter. To set our proxy, we can set space HTTPS_proxy and our proxy settings. Once we've entered them, we press Enter, and then we navigate to that install directory for MCNP 6.3. Within there, we navigate to the binaries directory, and we run the install_windows.bat script. The script will assess our system, find that we have everything that we should need, and now we can choose a full installation by entering I. Once we push I and enter, we acknowledge that we do want to install the MCNP data by typing Y and pressing Enter. Next, we need to choose where to install the data. We're going to make a new folder on our hard drive called MCNP6.3_data. Press Enter and click OK. The data downloader will now download all of this data. This will take some time. When the data are done downloading, we have to then accept the MCNP license. We do that by pressing Y and pressing Enter. Next, we can choose where to install the code. Similar to the data, we'll go to our C drive, we'll make a new directory called MCNP6.3. Press Enter, press OK. In this case, we have an option to install a Microsoft MPI version of the software. We will take the default option of No. The software will now install. Next, we're asked if we want to modify our user environment variables so MCNP is available everywhere. We'll take the default option of Yes by pressing Y and pressing Enter. Next, a series of tests are performed to check the installation. As these tests go, we see that they are passed, and so we have confidence that the installation is complete and correct. Once we're done, we can press Q and press Enter to quit. Now, we can exit this command prompt by typing exit and pressing Enter, and we can close some of these other windows. To launch MCNP 6.3, we can go to our Start menu and find MCNP 630 and request the MCNP 630 command window. To test the code, we can use an MCNP input file available on the MCNP website. In this case, we're going to download the Godiva critical assembly from mcnp.lanl.gov/include/g1.txt, and we'll have a small file appear. We're going to save this page as a text file to our C drive, where on our C drive we'll make a new directory called work. Within that directory, we save the file by clicking Save, and we can close our web browser. We can now navigate to that directory in the MCNP 6.3 command window by going up a few directories and then going into the work directory. We see g1.txt. To run the calculation, we can type MCNP6 space I equals space g1.txt. The calculation will proceed, and at the end we should see a k eigenvalue of roughly 1. To test the X11 base plotter, we can type MCNP6 space IP space I equals space g1.txt. We should have the plotter window come up where we can click here for default plot, and this magenta circle is our Godiva sphere. Note that if we resize this window, or on some dual monitor setups, we'll see just a blank white window. If that's the case, we can click in the upper left in an area about the size of a postage stamp, and the window will redraw. If it redraws strangely, we can click again, and it will redraw normally. When we're done, we can click End. Available with MCNP 6.3 is also a Qt-based technology preview plotter that we're hoping to replace the X11 plotter we just saw with. To see that, we can choose mcnp6.qt space IP space I equals space g1.txt. When this new software comes up, we're notified that it is a technology preview and that it is experimental. If we're satisfied with that, we can press Enter or click OK, and the window will come up. We can see this has a dramatically different appearance and substantially different capabilities, such as the ability to drag and control-click zoom and drag. This interactivity is augmented by this left-hand menu bar, and if we click within the geometry, we see a number of pieces of information regarding the input file. This concludes our installation and testing of MCNP 6.3 on Microsoft Windows. As noted, a future video should hopefully provide us more refinement and a smoother delivery, but we hope that this video helps those users who requested the software soon after it became available with installing, configuring, testing, and using the software. For more information on the MCNP code, its reference collection, other resources, upcoming classes, and so forth, please visit mcnp.lanl.gov. Thank you.